This is the passage that I often use for weddings. It used to be traditionally 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the love chapter, but this is what I use now. And we read a portion of it just a little while ago. Always be joyful in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all that you do. Remember, the Lord is coming soon. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all that He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything that we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:4-7. Remember those words, very powerful words. It was about 15 years ago when I started doing all the reading that I do, the self-help books and holistic healing books, where I came across the words, you create your own reality. And I was in a pretty low spot then, and those words stung, and they were unbelievable, and I pushed them aside. You create your own reality. But now, 15 or 16 years later, after I've been on this journey for that long, I understand what the words mean. And they are very powerful. We can't, if your reality right now isn't that good, that's okay. You can't be guilty. You can't take the blame for your life, but this is the truth. We can change the reality of our life by making some subtle changes in the way we see things and the way we talk about things. This is the truth. In Philippians 4:4-7, it says, rejoice in the Lord. Today we're celebrating joy. This is the third Sunday of Advent. The pink candle represents joy. And joy is the opposite of sadness or depression. And I want to talk a little bit about that. And what I have discovered is the way we think and the way we talk about ourselves and the world is one of the most powerful things that we do. And often we learn how to see the world and how to talk about the world from our parents and from our immediate family members and also from our teachers and coaches, from our siblings and from all of those around us. And when you see things negatively, when you interpret another person's behavior negatively, and when you believe that they have said or done something to you, it's going to make things much more difficult. I don't know how many times I've talked to people, and people will show me a text that they received. And they'll say, can you believe this? Look at this text. And I look at the text, and I'm thinking, I don't see what it is you're seeing. And I'll even say that. I don't see what you're seeing. Tell me what you see, and tell me what you're hearing. And all it takes is just a little bit of a misunderstanding of the words, and suddenly things are going in the wrong direction. Sometimes the things that we say and do in our conversations are misunderstood. And what matters is how we interpret these things. And there's no point to interpret things negatively. There's no point in seeing the negative faults and traits of other people and talking about them. We create our reality. And if you want joy to be your reality, talk about joyful things. Talk about awesome and amazing experiences. It says in Philippians 4 that I just read, make your thoughts known to God and give thanks to God. Give thanks, rejoice in all things. It doesn't say rejoice when your life is going well. It says rejoice in all things. It doesn't say give thanks when everything is going the way you want them to go. It says to give thanks in all things. Rejoice in all things. Even when things aren't the way we want them to be. There's a powerful shift that needs to take place in our world in our society. We are in a very difficult place in our world, politically, health-wise, other ways, climate-wise. We are in a very difficult spot. But we cannot begin to spiral downwards in negative thoughts and negative talk. We who are Christians, who have the message of joy, peace, and love and hope, we need to change the conversation. We need to talk optimistically. We need to share the love, the unconditional love that we believe that God has for us and for the whole world. Joy. Joy. Thanksgiving. There's things around us every moment of every day. When I thought about this sermon, I got one of these things on Apple News that you get on your phone. It can be a total waste of time. But this one talked about getting joy in your life. And one of the first things they said is to be grateful. Okay? Gratitude. Gratitude for what you have, rather than focusing and grumbling about the things you don't have. Give gratitude for what you do. We can be very sad and brokenhearted for the people that we have lost in our lives, particularly in this last year. Or we can give thanks for the life that they had and for the way they touched our own lives. When your heart is sad and breaking, it's a sign that this person touched your lives in a very powerful way. Some people don't have that. Be grateful. Give thanks to God in all things. The other thing it said about joy was to get out in nature. There's nothing that heals a sad heart than to be out in nature. And we don't do this very well, right? Years ago, we all did it. Everybody, people who lived in sod houses or worked on farms, you were outside all the time. And there is a joy that comes from nature that we don't find in front of our television sets. And when it gets cold and when it gets slippery, we tend to isolate even more, and that's not a good thing. I try to go out for a walk with Scott's dog 4 times a week out at Boggy Creek. The coyotes have given me a little bit of concern when Blue starts chasing them. But nonetheless, when you are outside and you can focus on what's in front of you and not all the thoughts that are kicking around in your head, your heart begins to heal. And if you're at the age where you can't go out and walk or you're afraid of falling, get in your car. Ask somebody to go with you. Drive out in the country. And there's a lot of loops that you can take around. Northeast of Regina, you go into that area, you're going to see some deer. I even see moose. You'll see coyotes. Stay in your car. No, I'm kidding. Nature is a way to heal our hearts. Joy. Joy is what we need in our lives. Make that choice. Amen.
It is well.
So the bliss of this glorious thought, my sin not in part, but the whole is nailed to his cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, oh my soul. Oh Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be sight. The cloth be rolled back as a scroll.